What's good, ladies and gents? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself, and today we are out here. Okay, we out here today. I'm gonna straight up say we out here. We out here and we fighting Fulgur Anjanath, aka Fred. I'm gonna call him Fred. Okay, I'm gonna call him Fred. His little brother's Andrew. My man right here is Fred. Nevertheless, so here we go. All right, first I owe you guys an apology. The reason why it took so long for this video to come out was Shrieking Legiana is a horrible monster to fight. Sorry for the dramatic pause there, but if you guys were to seen my face, I guess. But grinding that monster is ridiculous. It is by far the most galling thing I've ever had to experience in the 5th generation. Like, that was a tough, dumb fight. Like, I couldn't get any investigations. I had to just run the optional, and in the optional, Shrieking Legiana was there. Also, Legiana was there. They didn't fight each other. They fought with each other, and then Savage would show up, or Barryoth to show up, or Tigers to show up, and it was just a mess. I had to fight all these monsters at the same time. All the quests took about 45 minutes to complete, 35 to 45 minutes to complete, even with the dung pods, because they showed up so frequently, messing up all the flow, and it was ridiculous. Nevertheless, here we are. So Fred is here, and I'm gonna say this about Fred: not that hard. Okay, dead serious. I'm being 400% not that hard. Honestly, I don't know why they put him so late into the game, because he's very easy to fight. I mean, incredibly easy. I honestly had more trouble fighting regular Andrew than I did have fighting, well, regular Andrew. I had more trouble fighting Andrew than I did have fighting Fred. Granted, but you know, I did cart in this quest. This is facts. I did cart. I will say this: he's not very difficult, but he hits pretty hard. Maybe that or my defense was really, really low. I think actually it might have been both. Defense was low. Defense is like 761. That's the lowest I'd really recommend you guys going here to do when going to fight him. Because, I mean, you can take a couple of hits, but you're going to get smacked pretty hard. Also, I didn't have guard on this set. I don't know why. I had a gunland set with no guard, but that's not the reason why I carded. These are just small potatoes. He's not very difficult, okay? He's very slow, truth be told. If you guys have fought Andrew before, heck, fighting Andrew in high rank, he moves faster than my man Fred does right here. So, what I will say about Fred is that he has an interesting way of faking you out. Okay, that's the big thing. It might take a couple of, I'm not gonna say it's going to be the end all be all to actually get you killed every single time, but it could be a thing. Like, he will feign a normal bite, but then that bite might turn into this weird thing where he like bites the ground. And if you guys remember Andrew has this loving affection of the ground where he'll throw his face into the ground and then just like plow the ground up and then do some weird stuff or whatever, and that attack was the strongest attack. Now Fred has that attack, and then it's augmented with the electricity, making it very devastating, truth be told. So it's one of those things where when you see it initially, you're like, wow, I should probably really watch out, or I might seriously get bited by this. But also on top of that, it could very well be one of those attacks that you can use to your advantage, because you know that he's going to be doing something so galling that you can actually go around him. Because it's one real thing though: if you go around him as he does this, you're free. Okay, you're 100% free. It won't attack you. It won't hit you at all. The hitbox doesn't really damage anything outside of like behind his legs. So if you make it behind his legs, you'll be in good hands. Now, he is a brute wyvern. Brute wyverns tend to get raged pretty often, and he does get raged pretty often, quite frequently. But honestly, none of this is ever really a big deal. Go in here with some moderate defense, again, 761, 780, that kind of thing, 800 if you can get it. But go in here with that and an ice weapon, because he is very susceptible to ice. Now, I bet you're wondering, yo, Dak, why didn't you make the Shrieking Legiana ice weapon? Because you usually make the armor of the monster and a weapon to go with it. True, but Shrieking Legiana ice weapons are the worst ice weapons in the game. There's no reason for you to get any of them because Volcana exists, okay? Heck, even Kush exists. So there's absolutely no reason for you to even want to go and fight Shrieking Legiana, get an ice weapon. Then again, to put it like this, Volcana is coming up very soon. There's like 3 other quests we have to do, and then you have Volcana. So instead of wasting money and resources on getting a Shrieking Legiana weapon, save it to get a Volcana weapon. Has more attack, way more sharpness, and just as much element. Well, not just as much, but damn near as much element. Put like 2 ice attack decorations on it, and you're good to go. Nevertheless, that's not what we're here for. What we are here for is Fred, and he's not a very tough fight. Like, I feel like not a lot of people would have a lot of trouble with Fred. They may cart once or twice because he does hit pretty hard. Even when he's mad, it's not really ridiculous. Like you can kind of get over it because he does the biting attack, his standard biting attack so often, and it's so slow that if you're blocking or you have the means to block, or if you're quick on the evasion, it's gonna be free. So there's no real worry when fighting Fred. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. There's no real worry when fighting Fred. It's just that, well, take your time. Yeah, just take your time and you'll be fine. Dead serious. But with that said, let's look at the man's gear, because actually not too bad. Okay, so here we are. Now, the full is kind of okay. I'm not mad at it. It's okay. It's not great. It's okay. So let's look at all the skills off the rip. So we're looking at a Thunder Attack 4, which increases your Thunder Attack, obviously. Weakness Exploit 3, Item Prolonger 3, Stun Resistance to Resuscitate, Special Ammo Boost, and Flinch Free. And the set bonus gives you Stamina Cap Up. I'm going to tell you why I'm not mad at the set. Because I always look at these things from like a lancing standpoint. Stamina Cap Up, Weakness Exploits, Stun Resistance, Resuscitate, and Flinch Free. Those are all really good skills if you're like me who like to lance or gun lance, things like that. And you can kind of work around those skills and actually put in your own kind of flair. Now, for other players, the only skill we're probably looking at that's probably going to be useful for other players is probably Resuscitate, Weakness Exploit, and maybe Flinch Free. Special Ammo Boost has special connotations to special type of players, those special type of players being gunners. And 9 times out of 10, they probably won't run a set like this anyway. They'll probably run Shrieking Legiana because it's actually really good for the bows. Now, I will say this. The alpha isn't good. The alpha isn't good. I would much rather go full beta. The reason why. When you go full beta, yeah, you lose a couple of things here, there, and there, but you keep the good stuff. Okay, you really do. Honestly, my actual set is this. Boom. That's it. No. Boom. Now that's it. Weakness Exploit 3, Item Prolonger 3, Thunder Attack 2, Stun Resistance, and Flinch Free, and the Stamina Cap Up. I don't use any of the other skills except for Weakness Exploit and Flinch Free and Stamina Cap Up. The same skills that I said was actually pretty good for me. I foregone Resuscitate because I already have plenty of gems I could gem it in. And the reason why I'm telling you guys that the beta is probably the best, because essentially the skills are exactly the same. I would run this exact set right here because the main skill to walk away from the set is Weakness Exploit. So run all beta except the waste. I'm telling you what to do. I usually don't do this. It's just because the armor set isn't that bad, but it's actually very, very good if you run it this way. So all beta except the waste. And you get Weakness Exploit, which is arguably the best skill it actually has. You still get your Stamina Cap Up for those who actually really need it. And Item Prolonger, that's the thing. It's actually really good because I kind of feel like hot drink and whatnot doesn't last that long. You could also really run it for like things like Demon Powder and the like. It increases the length in which your items who actually have a fixed time in which they can go kaput goes on for longer. So maxed out we have 50% duration, which is pretty decent. So if it lasts for a minute, now it lasts for a minute and a half. There you go. And the stun resistance is not that bad either. I think I said the armor set isn't like trash, but it's honestly not great. Okay, you will probably pick this up, wear it for like 10 seconds. It looks great on the females. I ain't gonna lie, it looks great on the females. That hair has me gobsmacked. But for the guys, the guys look like some weird barbarian thing. I don't like the way it looks. Anyway, nevertheless, I kind of feel like this set is not that great, but you can get some what do you call it, some distance out of it, because the amount of slots you get in the armor is actually pretty gosh darn smacky. Like you get your 4 and you get a 2 or 3 in most cases, so it's not that bad, all things considered. Now, will I say run this at the end of the game? No. Is it decent enough for where it's actually placed? Probably not. I feel like Fred should have been added into the game right after Viper Tobi Kadachi, because I feel like the armor set kind of plays to that strength, where you have a armor set that actually adds something as, I'm not gonna say useless, but no, I'm gonna say something as useless as an elemental attack increase in terms of skill to the armor set, where in which usually if you want that, you just kind of put it on the set yourself. I kind of feel like they do that when they don't have an idea as to what else to put on the set, but whatever. Nevertheless, that's the thing. Now, moving on to its weapons. I should actually show you the weapons. I never really use any of the weapons. It's always like, here's the armor, then I talk about the weapons as I talk about the armor. His weapons, I'm just going to go to the gun lance, just so there's a visual representation. I think I know why I don't do it, because I have to like scroll and look and account for every single weapon. Nevertheless, so Fulgur Anjanath weapons, they are in that medium tier camp. They don't quite, okay, I should make tiers for this. But for a gun lance, the top of the line attack is 667. That is top. That is absolute the best attack in the entire game. The most you'll get usually is 644, 621, and 598. 598, 621, 644. Those are that's the good stuff. That's great. That's the stuff you want. That's the stuff you call home about. Like, yo, my man got the slap. 575 is like, I'll allow it, but I'm not running it in game. Okay, so forego the numbers. Okay, I'll tell you what these weapons are about. They have great affinity, surprisingly. All those weapons have really good affinity. They have a healthy amount of element, and the attack is okay. The sharpness leaves a bit to be desired. For the most part, you're not going to go purple. You'll get some white in there, but it's a great holdover thunder weapon. Actually, it's probably the best thunder weapon you'll have for a very long time, because Zinogre isn't until a bit later. So yeah, I would recommend running Fulgur Anjanath weapons, because they're not bad. They're actually pretty decent. I mean, great element. Plus, the plus side to the affinity. The sharpness isn't the greatest. You are going to have to run handicraft on essentially all of his stuff. But again, the stat spread isn't too rough. It's actually okay. So I would recommend running him. I'm actually going to make it. I'm dead serious. I'm going to make his gun lance right here, and we're going to run it for a while. So honestly, I feel like his armor is his weapons is good, because the thunder weapon before it was the Tobikadachi and it was bad, and after that it's going to be Zinogre, which is good. But for the time being, Fulgur will hold you down. And then again, maybe in some cases, depending on what weapon you actually have, Fulgur might be the better weapon to run even when Zinogre comes out, because I had a sneak peek at his gun lance, and I'm probably still going to run the Fulgur gun lance, truth be told. But nevertheless, I say this: Fulgur Anjanath, aka Fred, his gear, not that bad. I'd say run the weapons more so than the armor, but the armor looks very nice. So what did we learn today? Fred is a decent monster to fight. He's not tough. He hits hard. He's a bit slow. He has a couple of things that'll mix you up. It'll throw off your rhythm, and you might catch a card that way. It happens a lot. The fact that he's actually thunder, he will more than likely afflict you with the Thunder Blight, and then when afflicted with Thunder Blight, you're more susceptible to being stunned, so he can hit you with the Thunder Blight and then hit you one more time, and then you're stunned, and then you'll catch the smack, which is what happened to me twice. So either go in here with some relatively decent thunder resistance, so that way you're not smacked every time. So that I was gonna die there, but he turf ward with Tigrex, thank God. But you want to go in here with some thunder resistance, so that way you're not blighted so often, or maybe even come here with just blight resistance. That ability, that'd actually be a really good ability without you having to force yourself into a particular armor set, in which you probably don't want to do that. But if you can get away with away from the thunder blight, that will also induce the stunning. You can very well go through here and not be too harried by what he can actually provide, because that's his thing. He's the 1-2 combo with the thunder blight, with the stunning, and smacking you very, very hard. So outside of that, he's an okay monster to fight. His gear is aight. That's the best I can say, really. I did say it was decent, but then the more I look at it, it was just aight. You can mix and match the armor to make what you want. I highly recommend you at least go in here with the weakness exploit 3 thing. He does have other kind of skills on here as well, but again, personally, I believe that the full beta with that one piece in the waist with the alpha is probably the best that you're going to get out of it, because the other skills are just fluff, and you don't really need those skills. The meat and potatoes is as it were right there, and then you have a lot of level 4 slots of gem in whatever the heck you really want to put gem in. And on top of that, his weapons are kind of good, because they're some of the best thunder weapons in the game. Not like there's a lot of thunder weapons in the game, but it's some of the best ones you get up until the end game. Once you get to the end game, I'll leave you to decide whether you want it or not. But nevertheless, ladies and gents, boys and girls, Dugs and Diggas, it's your man Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. The video is technically done, but I want you to see how I kill him, so I'm gonna fast forward to when I do kill him, so you can see how I did it, because I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Stand by for another video. I'm gonna try and get this out to you a bit more frequently now, because there's no real reason why I don't. It was just me being lazy. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was just being lazy. But the next video should come out, I want to say tomorrow, or maybe the day after, because I need to make a Damon X Machina video. But nevertheless, it's been your boy. Take care, and I'm gonna see you all on the next one. Peace.